This is DrKenn. As of the posting of this video, Essene Life has rolled the 10,000 subscriber mark. To celebrate this very gratifying milestone, I would like to thank my subscribers for making my passion of bringing enlightenment to mankind and assisting others with their desire to advance their personal evolution and sense of spiritual connection. I have a special gift for anyone watching who wishes to start or continue their journey of spirituality and oneness with all creation, of expanding their consciousness and removing the veil of historical fallacy, religious bias, and false indoctrination, which has taken hold of modern society. Simply message me below in the comments to receive my free gift to you, a PDF I have put together outlining the simple steps you can take right now, which will make clear the process of achieving cosmic consciousness through the act of my program based on the Enlightenment teachings of the founders of the ancient peace traditions, which I call spiritual anarchy. This outline covers the steps you can take which will advance your personal evolution along the path of peace. You can take back the power of your own spiritual connection with the creative source of the universe, find your inner strength, and change your fate through a simple process of intentionality. By typing "send me the PDF" in the comments section below, I will be thrilled to send you this document outlining the process of your personal evolution toward holistic peace, health, and a profound sense of spirituality. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the video I'm sharing with you here and that it helps you grow in your spiritual walk. Many thanks, blessings, and peace.
The concept of what constitutes you is complex. It is not concrete and fixed, as many of us believe it to be. The vast majority of us consider ourselves to extend to the extremes of our physical body, from the top of our head to the tip of our fingers and toes, and that our self is restricted to the extent of nerve endings and cilia populating our epidermis. This definition of self being restricted to that which we can experience by means of physical sensation. Generally, if it is biologically attached to our body proper, we can control it by voluntary or involuntary means, and if it relays sensation to our brain through the excitation of stimulus, then it is considered self, local, personal, us. One's idea of where the boundaries between self and other occurs is a direct correlate to their degree of personal evolution, of spiritual awakening, of cosmic consciousness. And given that the purpose of life, as taught by the founders of the ancient peace traditions, is communion with the one law, the All-Father, the source of all things material and immaterial, ascending to the enlightened state of Christ consciousness, also known as Atman realization, and becoming one with all creation, that this ascension, this achievement of the highest state of consciousness fulfills karma and attains nirvana. One's striving to expand their consciousness while in the mortal form is critical to their advancement as a being, to becoming a point of light in the cosmos. One way to take inventory of one's personal evolution is for them to test the limits of their conscious experience, the extent of their expansion of self. This process is commonly referred to as expanding one's consciousness, also as ascending to higher states of consciousness. But it is possible to expand one's consciousness, one's ability to connect with, sense, and experience that which is beyond one's physical limitations. The ultimate goal of life is expansion toward infinite awareness, through communion with the one law, through the advancement of one's personal evolution along the path of peace, through communion with the forces of nature and the cosmos, and oneness with all creation. This is not a post-mortem experience. It is a process of evolution which we must all undertake while in the mortal coil, while incarnate, material, and corporeal. It is the only path to enlightenment and unity with the All-Father, cosmic consciousness. And like any other tiered system, in order to advance, one must take inventory from time to time as to their current state and surmise their deficiencies and limitations. To know where you are along the path, you must know where you started, where you are going, and how far you have traveled. We will illuminate this path here. To determine the limits of your conscious experience, which is an indicator of your progress along the path of peace and the degree of your personal evolution, the following list details characteristics of each level of expanded consciousness. Aligning with the 7 chakras, each degree of ascension and expansion is associated with a different energy center, each of which contain characteristic tendencies. If one's sense of self, the expanse of their consciousness, is only local, meaning that they do not experience any conscious energies outside of their body, they are operating from one of the lower chakras, the root, sacral, or solar plexus chakras. If one's sense of self is extended by virtue of an emotional connection with others and/or the planet, they operate from a heightened state of consciousness, beyond that of just their local physical experience. These are represented by the mid-chakras ranging from the solar plexus, heart, and throat chakras. If one's conscious experience extends to the mental self, they have reached the higher states of consciousness, represented by the throat, third eye, and crown chakras. You will notice that each chakra overlaps at their junctures, with the solar plexus residing within both the lower and mid chakras, and the throat chakra residing within both the mid and higher chakras. This is because even within chakras there are degrees of personal evolution, so that each chakra is more like a process than a fixed point. To break these down even further, let us look at each chakra on its own merit and characteristics, and see how each relates to one's degree of personal evolution. This breakdown will more clearly explain the fruits, or products if you will, of each stage of consciousness. The lowest form of existence for a human being resides in the root chakra, where one's experience is limited to the most primitive thoughts, feelings, and actions. The root chakra is the most fundamental of the chakras, being the most directly connected to the earth, nature, and the natural forces. Based in basic trust, the root chakra contains our most primitive emotions of fear, anger, and love, which, while superior, is rudimentary and easily overcome. Overcoming our fundamental nature is the first and most critical step toward ascension to higher states of consciousness. A balanced root chakra displays prudence and caution for the purpose of self-preservation, but avoids harming others in the process. Manifestations of an overly inflated root chakra include impulsiveness, defensiveness, aggression, self-centeredness, pettiness, and paranoia. One whose degree of consciousness is most energized in their root chakra tends to have no empathic traits, feels no remorse, and revels in gain, especially at the misfortune of others. The sacral chakra, while still based in our lower self and tied directly to material experience, is superior to the root chakra. This chakra is related to sexuality as well as regenerative processes within the body. Sexuality is the outward expression of creation and generation, while the inner expression, that of healing and renewal, is the regenerative power contained within this chakra. The energies produced within this chakra are useful for self-healing and restoration within the body and can be directed through proper meditative practices. If one's dominant chakra is the sacral, sex is one's driving motivation. A balanced sacral chakra limits sexual thoughts and behaviors to healthy, consensual, intimate interactions within an equitable relationship. Sacral-intensive people tend to be overly preoccupied with things of a sexual nature. They tend to objectify others, dehumanize their subjects, and profile groups of people using simplified and generalized descriptors, usually in demeaning or degrading ways. Each chakra builds on those more fundamental than itself. The health and vitality of the sacral chakra is dependent on the health and vitality of the root chakra. Sexuality and healing, or generation and regeneration, are dependent on basic trust and an unimpeded connection to the earthly, natural forces. The solar plexus chakra is the energy center for power in our being. still a part of the lower self, but superior to the sacral chakra. It is the unifying center of the lower self, directing all unconscious material processes within our body. Power is manifested in our being from the degree of health in our lower, material or physical, body. This power is the source of our strength and will, and serves to motivate our drive and determination. The solar plexus chakra undergirds and supports the degree to which the heart chakra thrives. If one operates primarily out of the solar plexus chakra, power is one's main motivator. This can be manifested as overt or subtle power. A balanced solar plexus chakra utilizes power to influence the betterment of people, places, and things, to encourage, support, and empower others, and to facilitate joy and peace, safety and health in those in their sphere. Excessive use of power can be achieved through various means, including physical force, emotional manipulation, and mental abuse, to name a few. The sense of having control over others, over situations, and over outcomes gives the subject a great deal of satisfaction, though others may suffer in its fulfillment. Adjacent chakras have close ties and influence on one another. For instance, the solar plexus chakra, which is just above the sacral chakra, representing sexual and regenerative energies, and just below the heart chakra, representing love and other related empathic energies, can either be used toward higher purposes to support and amplify the heart chakra, or for lower purposes to support and amplify the sacral chakra, or equally between the two. When in balance, this overlapping of energy centers can be a beautiful and euphoric experience. When out of balance, it only results in pain and suffering. The heart chakra, as you might expect, is the energy center for our sense of love, compassion, sympathy, devotion, and sentimentality. Superior to all chakras found within the lower self, the heart chakra is the most fundamental of the higher self chakras. The chakras of the higher self are most directly linked to our immaterial self, our spirit. The heart chakra communicates with our lower self through emotions, but can also influence and be influenced by our higher self, mind and/or spirit. If the primary center of operation is the heart chakra, emotions dominate one's life. A balanced heart chakra yields empathy and sentimentality, love and caring, charity and kindness. Extreme heart chakra imbalance can lead to severe emotional oscillation and crippling depression in the worst cases. The health of the heart chakra is dependent upon the health of the lower chakras, and itself supports the health and vitality of the remaining chakras of the higher self, the troth, third eye, and crown chakras. Love, as stated earlier in discussing the root chakra, permeates all chakras and can be used to enrich all experience when in balance. Love is a fundamental emotion, basic to our being human, can be coupled with the act of generation and regeneration to great effect, can be amplified by our power center, influence our communication center, color our awareness, and connect us with the Creator through our center of spirituality. It is the state from which we should operate as a matter of course, as the platform through which all other energies resonate. The troth chakra, while superior to the heart chakra, is subject to it to some degree. This chakra is the energy center of communication. How we relate and express ourselves to others is focused in the troth chakra. Influenced by the heart chakra and directed by the third eye and crown chakras, this chakra can serve as a tool for the outward expression of love, peace, and joy to our fellow man when in balance, or hurtfulness, deceit, and slander when out of balance. Its highest expression is love. Based in the higher self, the troth chakra can represent our most sincere thoughts and feelings to those in our sphere, or by virtue of our mental capacity and ability to deviate from truth, can forward a message of falsehood and enmity. This is the primary source of mankind's deviation from the law. All lower chakras are incapable of expressing falsehood. Subject to nature and natural law, they are true in their manifestations. The throat chakra, via the mind, is capable of great injury and deceit. The third eye chakra, residing entirely within our higher self, is the center of our awareness. This chakra represents one's purest sense of intuition. The third eye is often thought of as being a sixth sense, also referred to as a gut feeling, but this simplistic description denies the fullness of its essence. The third eye chakra is our innermost intuition, a direct link with our higher self which exists in the abstract, spirit. This chakra is our most valuable tool toward knowing what is right and true, contemplating the tough decisions, and increasing our personal evolution. If one operates primarily from the third eye chakra, their intuition guides them. A balanced third eye chakra uses intuition to become sensitive to others' needs, to garner wisdom toward the resolution of problems, and develop a heightened sense of justice and righteousness. An overly energized third eye chakra causes the subject to overlook or dismiss real-world responsibilities such as physical needs, sustenance requirements, imperatives of self-preservation, relationships, responsibilities to others, and other important considerations necessary for daily life. The crown chakra is superior to all other chakras. It is the energy center for our spiritual health. It represents the apex of our higher self. Spirit, being fundamental to all substance, is the ultimate state of existence. The crown chakra is the essence of our higher self and facilitates communion with the source, the creative force of all that exists, both material and immaterial, which is our purpose as beings. If one is centered in the crown chakra, they rely primarily on their spiritual connection. A balanced crown chakra strives to connect with the All-Father through the collateral enrichment of all phases of one's being. An imbalance occurs when the spiritual overshadows the physical to the detriment of one's health. Extremes can result in a loss of material coherence, abandoned relationships, and ungrounded perspectives, which can affect the health and safety of oneself and others in one's sphere. The health of the crown chakra, spirituality, is dependent upon the health of all inferior chakras. If our basic trust and connection to the earth, root chakra, is unstable, our generation and regeneration falters. If our generative and regenerative center, sacral chakra, falters, our power weakens. If our power, solar plexus chakra, weakens, our ability to love is diminished. If our love, heart chakra, is diminished, our ability to relate to and communicate with others is corrupted. If our communication, throat chakra, is corrupted, our awareness is compromised. If our awareness, third eye chakra, is compromised, our spirituality, crown chakra, experiences darkness, withering, and, ultimately, death. None of the chakras are inherently good or bad. Any chakral center can be used for productive or for destructive purposes, but focusing one's energies excessively in any one chakra causes imbalance and stunts personal evolution. While each of us is ultimately one being, spirit, we are also three: body, emotions and mind, and seven: the energy centers through which we operate: primal, generative, powerful, emotional, communal, intuitional and spiritual, which are represented by the seven chakras, or energy centers within our being. These seven chakras regulate our use of the forces of nature and the cosmos. If we are balanced, the seven chakras are developed and utilized in equal measure, no one chakra dominating the others, serving our personal evolution in harmony with natural law. If we are unbalanced, our energies are focused in one or more chakras to the detriment of others. The lower the chakra exerting dominance in one's life, the less evolved one is. To wit, if your motivating drive is self-centeredness or its extreme of selfishness, you are root chakra dominant. If it is sexuality, you are sacral chakra dominant. If by the drive for power, solar plexus dominant. If by emotions, heart chakra dominant. If by talking and verbal expression, throat chakra dominant. If by intuition, third eye dominant. And if your motivating drive is oneness, selflessness, and spirituality, crown chakra dominant. The goal is balance in equanimity between chakral centers. Dominance by any one area is imbalance in the chakral system. The higher one's degree of personal evolution, the more expansive one's consciousness is. If rooted in the physical or lower chakras, one's consciousness does not extend past the body. If in the emotional or mid-chakras, one's consciousness can extend to encompass the earth in its entirety, affecting positively the emotional state of all of mankind. And if in the mental or higher chakras, one's consciousness can transcend the planet to commune with the cosmic ocean of thought, the mind of God, at its most expansive. This is where the highest thoughts in the cosmos reside. This expansion to higher states of consciousness is achieved by striving to commune with your higher self, your spirit, which resides at the center of your being, by communion with the forces of nature, sun, air, water, and earth, and the cosmos, love, wisdom, power, and joy, by being intentional in thought, compassionate in word, and mindful in deed, by seeking truth through the contemplation of your own inner intuition, the order and process of nature, and the masterpieces of the creative works of man. These are the means by which your personal evolution is realized, your sense of self is expanded to the degree of the planet and beyond, and by which you accomplish expansion of you and cosmic consciousness.